What's up, guys? I'm back again, like always. My name is Eric. This is the free NBA Daily Bets podcast and YouTube show. Let's get into Monday's slate. First game up, got the Brooklyn Nets heading down to the nation's capital against the Wizards. The spread is -3, -2.5 to the Brooklyn Nets. Over-unders at 214. And this game is interesting and I usually keep Wizards games quick, but if we can get Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart to play and Malcolm Brogdon and Alex Sarr, like if those four guys who are on the injury report, if they play, I like the Wizards in this game. And I don't like the Wizards much at all, ever, but the Brooklyn Nets cannot score, guys. D'Angelo Russell's going to miss this game. Cam Thomas is out of this game. All they have is Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton. Zaire Williams. They're starting Killian Hayes right now. Like, it's bad, guys. Trendon Watford was like their go-to guy down the stretch against the 76ers when they beat them the other night. Like, it's not good, guys. It's really not good. They can't score. Like, I'll give that. And, I mean, the Nets, they'll play hard defense for sure. And they just lost to the Wizards February 5th at home. So they'll be motivated for this game. The Brooklyn Nets will be motivated, but the Wizards will too. They just lost yesterday in Orlando, 110-90. Jordan Poole played 38 minutes, I think it was. 28. Oh no, he only played 28. Bilal Coulibaly played 35. And then Justin Shimpagni played 31. So that's it. Everybody else played less than 30, so not a huge minutes logged for the team of the nation's capital. And they started the game at 6 o'clock last night. So, I mean, they're getting back relatively better, sleep schedule tonight. So it's not like the worst travel spot in the world. You know, they probably got home around like 11:30 at night, 12 midnight, which isn't bad at all. So I like Brooklyn guys. Sorry. I like the Wizards if those guys play. I am targeting the under, though, because I know Brooklyn's going to play really good defense, and Brooklyn's going to be really up for this game because they lost to the Wizards recently. So I do like the game under, but I definitely like Washington team total under. It's going to be like, let me see here, 107. It's going to be like 106.5. Man, I might even be okay with the Nets team total. I don't know, guys. We got to take a look into that. But let's keep it moving. Let's not waste too much time on the Wizards and Nets. Next game up, we have the Denver Nuggets at the Indiana Pacers. Spread is -4.5 to the Denver Nuggets, the road favorite. This total is at 246.5. Both these teams like to run and gun, play fast. They shoot pretty well. Indiana beat the Clippers last night. It was 129-111. And let's see, no back-to-back for them. Oh, well, yeah, it is second night of back-to-back for them. But their next game is Wednesday at home. They're in the midst of a little homestand here. And nobody played over 31 minutes. Everybody played, Miles Turner was at 31 minutes. Everyone else was less than that. They should be rested. Home back to back, come back again. No travel at all. They should be ready for this one, guys. Denver's off the loss to the Lakers, but this is the thing, guys. I think this line's a little too high, and these teams haven't played yet this year. Denver beat them twice last season, but the thing is, this, guys, is if you look at their win streak that Denver just had, they just had like a 9-game win streak. They didn't beat anybody. They beat Charlotte twice. They beat Portland twice. They beat Phoenix, who we know Phoenix isn't very good. They beat Orlando. Orlando's not good on the road. They beat New Orleans twice. They beat Philadelphia at Philadelphia, which is like nothing. But before that, they lost at New York. They lost at Chicago. They lost at Minnesota. They beat Dallas twice, but that was without Luka. They won at Miami and at Orlando. Okay, maybe a little bit of credit there. Won at Utah. That's nothing. Won San Antonio. That's nothing. Barely beat Sacramento back on Monday, December 16th. Like, and I mean they lost to Washington on the road. The Wizards. I mean, this is what I'm saying, guys. I don't love and trust Denver here, like laying 4.5 points. I think Indiana could easily win this game. I kind of think they do win this game. So I definitely lean Indiana minus 4.5. I mean plus 4.5, and over under. Man, I don't know. Yesterday, guys, teams were scoring the ball. Man, they were scoring the ball yesterday. I lean over 246 with this game, guys. All right, next game. But before I get there, guys, just take a look. I've been saying this on the podcast for a long time. If you can pick the winners, you're gonna cover the spread. Like this point spread doesn't even matter. If you can just pick the winners, point spread doesn't matter. Obviously, with underdogs, it doesn't matter because if they win the game, they cover the spread no matter what. But look at Boston. They won yesterday. Is a 9-point favorite, 8-point favorite. Golden State was a 9-point favorite by like 20. Detroit won by 5. Is a 3.5-point favorite at 1 point. Indiana won's a 4-point favorite. They won by 18. Orlando won is a 13-point favorite. They won by 20. Toronto won as an underdog or a short favorite, whatever you want to call it. Milwaukee won as a 5.5-point favorite. They won by 7. New Orleans won as like a 2-point favorite. Cleveland won as a 5.5-point favorite. They won by 6. The only team that did not win and covered as a favorite was the Oklahoma City Thunder. They won by 7, and their spread was minus 8.5, minus 8, minus 9. So, but they were close to covering at 1 point, guys. So basically, what I'm saying is like if you can pick the winners and you have a really good hunch that team's going to win. I mean, don't be afraid of the point spread, guys. Just go ahead and bet them. Just bet them on the point spread, and they'll most likely cover the spread more times than not. Okay, next game up. We've got the Chicago Bulls at the Philadelphia 76ers, and the spread is minus 3.5 to Philly, the home favorite. Over-unders at 231.5, and I really like this Chicago Bulls team total under in this game. Philadelphia is going to most likely... I mean, Embiid's questionable, Maxi's questionable, Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, and Justin Edwards is out. Like, those three guys are big depth pieces for them. Those guys being out, like, they're relying on Jared Butler, Lonnie Walker, Ricky Council. I mean, that's who they're relying on, guys. It's not good. Their depth is bad. Like Maxey played 40 minutes the other night. Paul George played 40 minutes the other night. Quentin Grimes is playing a lot. It's not good, guys. And then if Maxey doesn't play and Joel Embiid doesn't play, like, I mean, guys, where's Philly going to score? And I know it's against Chicago, and I know Chicago doesn't play any defense, but still, like, who's going to score for them? Like it's no one's going to score. Like I like the game under in general. I doubt Joel Embiid's going to play. Like his knee's just not right. So I doubt he plays, guys. I really do. Maxey, who knows, man? He's been questionable and has missed some games recently. So it's kind of tricky. I hope Maxey plays, because if Maxey plays, I think they have enough there to beat the Bulls. The Bulls are also thin with their depth. Their starters should all play. But Patrick Williams, Jalen Smith, Ayo Dosunmu, they're all out. So they're relying on Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, Dallin Terry, Julian Phillips, Talen Horton-Tucker. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So the starters, they got Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, Kobe White's probable, Matas Buzelis, the rookie who's shined a little bit here and there, and then Vucevic. So Chicago, let's see, they're on a 6-game losing streak, and then also the 76ers are on a 6-game losing streak too. None of these teams play tomorrow, so no back-to-back for either of them. 76ers are on a 7-game losing streak. I don't know, guys. This is the thing. I like Chicago. They play really freaking hard. They've been covering a lot of point spreads recently, but well, actually not recently, but the last 2 games. But I don't know, guys. I think Philadelphia wins this game. It might be a little close. I lean them minus 3.5, but I love that under, guys. I really do. I really, really do. Philly plays really good defense, and especially with this losing streak that they have, they're going to tighten up their defense even more. Like, they're gonna really get after it on the defensive end because they know that's their only way to win, guys. So Bulls team totals like at 113.5. I love that under, guys. All right, let's go to the next game. We got the Los Angeles Clippers at the Detroit Pistons. That's right. So let's check the minutes log. So Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell missed yesterday's game against the Pacers. And I mean that team can. I mean I'm surprised they even got to 111 points. I mean I guess it's because they played the Pacers, but you know who scored for them? James Harden got 31, Zubac got 22, and then a whole bunch of guys got random points here and there. Like I'm surprised they even got to 111. Honestly, let's see. So James Harden played 35 minutes. He's been playing every game, so I don't. He's gonna play, guys. I mean, it's short travel from Indianapolis to Detroit. That's not bad travel at all. So I mean, I expect James Harden to play, but you know, Kawhi Leonard, he's got left foot soreness, and Norman Powell's been out like since the All-Star break. So I don't know. Tough to see there. For Detroit, they just won a barn burner. They couldn't miss, guys. I was watching that game a little bit. Both them and Atlanta could not miss the basketball. Defense, it was pretty much optional. I mean, let's just look at what Detroit scored. They've scored over 125 points in 5 of their last 6 games, guys. Like, I mean, they're just on a tear right now offensively. I mean, they've played a lot of high-paced teams in the process, but still, I mean, they can't miss right now. So they start a 4-game homestand. They play the Clippers tonight. Then they play Boston on Wednesday. For the Clippers, their schedule, let's see real quick. They're on a road trip right now. This will be the 4th game of a 9-game road trip or something like that. I mean, the All-Star break broke it up, but dang. So they play Chicago on Wednesday at Chicago. Line is -1 to Detroit, and it's just kind of like who's gonna play, right? For the Pistons, let's check their minutes log real quick. We got 38 minutes for Cade Cunningham, 35 for Tobias Harris, and 34 minutes for Malik Beasley. Other than that, no one played over 30 minutes. Cade Cunningham's young. Tobias Harris is older, so I don't know if he'll play. Malik Beasley's, I would expect him to play. It's not like the best travel from Atlanta to Detroit, but the game did start at 6 yesterday, so they won't get home in the middle of the night most likely. This tough, guys, just because Detroit, they've played really well, but they've also haven't played anybody. I mean, their 6-game win streak. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, I'll give them credit. Yesterday, that was a good win. I had Atlanta plus 3.5, and honestly, it should have cashed. Trae Young missed a free throw, and so annoying, guys. But anyways, but yeah, they haven't played anybody. They beat San Antonio. San Antonio just lost to the Pelicans yesterday, so we know San Antonio is struggling without Wembanyama. They beat Chicago twice. That's not saying anything. They beat Charlotte. They beat Philadelphia. Philadelphia's bad. We know that. Whenever they play Cleveland, and they lost at home, obviously that's a good team. They lost at Indiana, at Orlando before. I'm just saying, guys. The Clippers are a better team than the Pistons, but with the Pistons being at home, they're going to play really tough. But then also the Clippers are on a 2-game losing streak. They're definitely going to want to get a win. I lean Clippers +1, but that's only if we get Kawhi Leonard in the game and Norman Powell too. But if we can get one of those two, I feel comfortable with the Clippers. If we get both of those, it's a 5-unit max bet. The Clippers are going to win that game, guys. Over-unders at 223.5. And honestly, I don't know why it's that low. Just with the way the Pistons are shooting the ball, like I wouldn't expect them to just fall off a cliff scoring. Like maybe they get into the 1-teens. And I mean, if the Pistons are playing defense the way that they've been doing, which isn't good, the Clippers should be able to get into the 1-teens as well. I like it over. Probably not going to bet the total on that, but I do lean over for that. Okay, next game up, we got the Miami Heat at the where is it? Atlanta Hawks. So Atlanta, like I said, they just lost to Detroit 148 to 143, and that's without overtime, guys. Like, I mean, that game was a just back and forth, just scoring fest. Let's see here. 38 minutes for both Trae Young and Dyson Daniels. 31 for Risa Sher, the rookie. Okongwu, 30 minutes. Gorgis Niang, 36 minutes. So Trae Young, he hasn't always played on these second night of back-to-back, so I don't know if he's going to play. He's been probable of late, so I would expect he wakes up and feels good enough to go. But, you never know. You never know with the NBA these days, guys. So Miami, they just lost. They squandered a lead, and that's kind of been their theme of late. They squandered a lead at Oklahoma City. They were messing around with Dallas in the fourth quarter, and they lost. And then same with Milwaukee. They were up 8 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they lost 120-113. Now they're in Atlanta, like I said, tonight. They host Atlanta on Wednesday. So this is the front end of a home and home back-to-back. Not really. I mean, there's rest in between, you know what I'm saying. But these teams play again Wednesday in Miami. So let's see. Andrew Wiggins played 40 minutes. Tyler Hero played 40 minutes. Khalil Ware played 37. Bam Adebayo played 35. Davion Mitchell 34. So heavy minutes logged. Bam's rested on the second night of back-to-backs. Andrew Wiggins has 2. I don't know if everybody plays here, guys. I don't know. This one is definitely an injury report. You want to wait and see what happens. I need to see who plays in this one, guys. Heat are small favorites, -1.5. Over unders 226. If everybody plays on both sides, I do lean Atlanta. Atlanta did beat the Heat already once this year at home, but I don't. So this is the thing, guys. Atlanta, they don't play defense at all, guys. They really don't. Miami will try to play defense. It's a tough game, guys. I really have no idea. It's hard to trust either team right now. And same with this total. And it all is relied on Atlanta. If you're basing the total off of the Heat, then you just bet under. You don't even think about it. Just bet under 226.5, and that's what it will be. The game will go under. But Atlanta, if they want to play defense at all, even the slightest bit of defense, the game will go under. If they play like they did yesterday and kind of a little bit of late, this game's going to go over no problem, guys. It'll go over no problem. The Heat will score a lot, and then Atlanta will have to keep up. And yeah, guys, I lean under 226. Lean Atlanta winning, but I really don't feel good about that game, guys, at all. Okay, next game up, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Oklahoma City Thunder. These two teams just played last night, and Rudy Gobert was out. Mike Conley played, and Anthony Edwards played. They lost 130-123, like I mentioned earlier. And the Timberwolves were up 5 points in the fourth quarter. They were up I think they were up at 10 points at one point. So, yeah, they kind of dropped the ball at home. It was a little bit of a revenge game for OKC because they just lost to Timberwolves before the All-Star break. So let's check the minutes log for both of these teams. Jalen Williams, 36 minutes. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 38 minutes. Lou Dort, 32. Everyone else played less than 30. For the Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels, 40 minutes. Naz Reid, 40 minutes. Anthony Edwards, 40 minutes. Mike Conley, 31 minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 34 minutes. So, I don't know. I don't know if Anthony Edwards plays. He's been questionable on the injury report for a long time. Mike Conley, I really doubt he plays. So, Oklahoma City, they're pretty young. They play everybody on the back-to-backs. The spread's high, guys. It's high. It's -12. And honestly, I don't know. I do think OKC wins the game, but it's them covering double digits. It's not hard for them to do. They win most of their games by 10 points. So, I mean, them to win by more than 12, I could see it. I could. Over unders at 226. And that was another game. They couldn't miss a shot last night, guys. They could not miss a shot last night. It was 130, 123, like I've already said a couple times. Like, I don't know. Second night back to back, probably no defense. I don't know. The game will probably go under, guys, honestly. It'll probably go under. I mean, I want to say the game goes over again. This feels like a short number, but on the second night of back-to-back, but nah, it'll probably go under, guys. Okay, 2 games left. We got the Portland Trailblazers at the Utah Jazz. These teams did not play yesterday, and I believe both these teams do not have a back-to-back. So both these teams are rested. Let's just double check here. Yeah, Portland goes to Washington on Wednesday. They start an East Coast road trip. And then Utah's in the middle of a homestand right now. They play Wednesday against Sacramento. So Utah's coming off a win against Houston. Houston was on the second night of a back-to-back, so that's why, it kind of happened. In my opinion, Houston looked really flat, and they're coming off a big win against the Timberwolves. This is like the 5th game of a 9-game homestand for the Jazz, which is crazy, right? They're 2-2 on the homestand, and they got a lot of people on the injury report. So Portland is just DeAndre Ayton, but he hasn't played in a while, so nothing serious for Portland on their injury report. And they're coming off their best win of the season. They won 141-88 against the Hornets at home. But their last 3 games on the road, Portland, I mean, it was against really good competition in Minnesota and Denver twice. They got smoked in all 3 of those games. Before that, they won at Charlotte, at Orlando, at Miami. They won at New Orleans, won at Milwaukee. But they don't start their road trips usually well. They did last road trip when they beat Miami first, or the 2 road trips before. So a little interesting there. They're 1-1 on the season. They beat them last time out by 2 points, 122-120. And then before that, they got smoked by like 30 points. So this is the deal, guys. The biggest thing is like the Jazz are just tanking. Like as soon as they win a game, they sit everybody the next game. Colin Sexton's still out. John Collins, I think, is out. Jordan Clarkson is out. Let me see. Both those have been ruled. Yeah, they're already ruled out. Markkanen's questionable. Walker Kessler's questionable. Walker Kessler had like 17 rebounds last game, guys. So that guy's just a rebounding machine. If he's out and Markkanen, I really see no way Portland loses this game other than they just don't show up. But even with Markkanen and Kessler playing, I still kind of lean Portland just a little bit. But I don't feel amazing about that. Keontae George is playing really well. Bryce Sensabaugh, Johnny Juzang, Cody Williams played a little bit better last game. Their first round pick from last year's draft. Like, I don't know. And the thing is, the Utah Jazz, they play really, really hard at home, guys. They do. They play really, really tough at home. They're going to come out and play tough. Portland, they're coming off a huge win. Like, I don't know how focused they're going to be per se against a Utah team. It's kind of hard to gauge their focus sometimes, but I mean, in my opinion, Portland's the better team. I don't think it's even close, but they're on the road. I don't know, guys. Kind of tough. I do like Portland though. I do like Portland to win the game. Over unders at 230, 231, and this is where I really like it the most. Portland, unless they just come out really super flat, but even if they do come out super flat, this total's just a little too high in my opinion. Portland, they can play really good defense, and they usually do when they win. But even if they don't and they get behind early, I like their defense to pick up, and I like the Utah Jazz team total under. It'll probably be like 113.5, under 113.5. I do like that a lot, guys. Excuse me. Do this podcast in the middle of the night per usual, guys. I like Utah Jazz under team total. I do think that's a winner right there. Okay, last game. Don't have a lot of thoughts on this last game. It's the Charlotte Hornets at the Sacramento Kings. Like I mentioned, Hornets just got smoked by the Trailblazers, like by 60 points or something like that. Sacramento just got smoked by the Warriors the other night. Their injury report's really clean and healthy. They should all starters and key backup players should be good to go. They start a 4-game road trip on Wednesday against Utah, and the Hornets they play tomorrow against the Warriors. So this is a front end back to back for them. And let's see, LaMelo Ball should be good. Mark Williams is out for them, so rebounding will be an issue for sure. Well, no, they got Nurkic. I forgot about Nurkic and Diabate. It's not the end of the world that Mark Williams isn't in, but this is the thing, guys. With the Hornets getting blown out last game, I know they're going to really focus on defense here. They can't score the ball well. They're going to focus on defense. I can't talk you taking the Charlotte Hornets team total under 110.5 or 109.5. I think that's a winner. The spread is minus 10.5. And this is the thing, guys. So the Hornets have been covering a lot of spreads this year as like double-digit dogs, and it's because the opposing team doesn't take them seriously, and then also the Hornets play really, really slow. So it's a combination of both those factors that like the games never get out of control. Like their last game where they lost by 50 something points to the Trailblazers, that was like their first game all season where they lost by 20. Like I think they've only lost by 20 like once or twice before that. And that was like way early in the season. Like teams don't care about the Hornets. They know they can beat them. They don't take them seriously. Even though the Kings were like on a 2-game losing streak or whatever it is, like they're probably not going to take them seriously. I kind of like the Kings under 121.5. I mean the game under 231 feels right as well. I do like that, guys. I lean Hornets covering plus 10.5 because like why not? They just always covers a double-digit dog, and I like best bet for that game. I would say Kings under 121.5. That would be a really, really good bet, I think. And that's it, guys. That is the show. Appreciate y'all for listening. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's find some winners today. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.